The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's Home Team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The Home Team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the Home Team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, Brother Pat, and welcome to the Home Team. And we want to say thank you to Jason and Marshall for filling in last week. Jason, I'm sure everything went smoothly.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It was a fun show. Not the same without you, but we try.
Marshall is
shenanigans.
Marshall is grieving today after last night's tough loss by Florida State.
What a game that was, though. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of indifferent. I did go to a year at Florida State, but I graduated from USF. I'm a USF fan. It was a fantastic game. Reminiscent of there was a game in '95 when Virginia upset Florida State. This one was even better, though. It went to double overtime, high scoring, 46-38. So it was a big one.
And next week, Friday Night Football will be at Raymond James Stadium as the Bulls will be hosting Charlotte on Friday night. So that'll be the Friday night nationally televised game involving the USF Bulls next Friday. I think they're off this week.
Yeah,
they have a bye week. So lots to get to. We'll get to all the big college football games coming up, and including the one tonight at Happy Valley. And I asked the question, where did the name Happy Valley come from? And Matt, our king of research, says that Happy Valley, according to Google, was named after a revival meeting in the early 1900s where attendees were so happy they named the community, and the more common explanation that the area was sheltered from the financial hardship of the Great Depression.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I find that very interesting. Yeah. I always wondered where the name Happy Valley came from.
Oh, there's a couple of death valleys that we have for stadiums. You have in LSU, there's and Clemson. Their home stadiums are called Death Valley, but I guess you'd rather be happy, so you want to be at Penn State's Happy Valley.
If you're happy and you know it, yeah. But anyway, that's all about that. The Buccaneers have a big test tomorrow, and the question is, can they continue their mastery over the Eagles? The game tomorrow, 1:00 against the Eagles, and they've had success, even though the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, they have. I mean, in particular in the playoffs, they've had success. It's going to be a good game. I think it could go either way. Obviously, both teams are undefeated. Both teams have had close calls. A win is a win, the way I look at it. I mean, I think if you're the Bucs, certainly you want to be playing better. You got to stop the penalties that they had, especially in the first half against the Jets last week. That was really sloppy.
Well, I think a lot of that was because they had so many people playing out of position and guys filling in for injured players.
It's a makeshift offensive line
too. All the holding calls,
that had a lot to do with it, and plus the fact that they did have a commanding lead that they gave up, and they let the Jets back into it. But the key is the Bucs have found ways to win games, and I think the good teams do that. I think Baker Mayfield's become one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league. He just, at the end of game scenario, especially if you're behind, I think he's one of those players you want to have.
Yeah,
you feel most confident with him and his ability.
And probably most importantly is that the people in the huddle have the confidence in him too. I mean, they fell behind after that crazy play that the Jets ran back for a touchdown.
Block field goal.
But then they went out there and very calmly marched down the field and got the winning field goal.
Yeah, they did. And also another positive, I mean, put the block field goal aside, our kicker, Chase McLaughlin, bounced back. He had a very good game, solid game. I know he got off to a bit of a rough start, and sometimes something like that can get in the kicker's head.
Sure.
And even the best of the kickers, sometimes all it takes is one game, and they're never the same. But McLaughlin bounced back, made all his field goals. That the block one was really, that was not on him. That's not on, that was not his fault. That was I think that was a great play made by the Jets player. I mean, he actually jumped over the line. If he just barely touches our lineman, that's a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation was what it was. But McLaughlin had a good game. Hopefully we can get Chris Godwin back this week. I know he's questionable. I think he's a game-time decision. I guess I haven't heard about Tristan Wirfs. I don't know if he's been.
I think he's
out.
in the same category.
Game time
decision. Yeah.
Right. But at least those other offensive linemen who don't normally play, they have a game under their belt. So hopefully that'll help. It'll be a little kind of a cleaner situation this week in terms of the penalties, less penalties.
Absolutely. So we'll see how that goes. And certainly if the Bucs can find a way, whatever, even though a 1-point win, if they can beat the Eagles and be up and go 4-0, boy, you got to really be optimistic.
I think before the season started, when you looked at the first 4 games, you figured that was a really tough schedule. Now, I don't think anyone would have imagined that the like the Texans would it be 0-3, and even the Falcons are 1-2. But putting that aside, if they had gone 2-2, I think at that point you'd look at that and say, okay, that's okay, because you started out with a lot of tough games. But the fact that they've already won 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if they were to drop this one tomorrow to the Eagles, you're 3-1. That's a good position to be in. But again, you want to win as many as you can. It'll be a huge win, especially figuring later on in the season if it's coming down between the Bucs and the Eagles for a potential home field. You'd love to have that head-to-head victory over them, where you could get the tiebreaker that way.
And also, you got to keep in mind that they're headed to the West Coast, where they have not had a a lot of success next week against a very good Seattle team.
So Seattle is
you'd
strong.
hate to drop to 3-1 and then 3-2 if they fall to Seattle. So things could turn around quickly. So we'll get your thoughts on that. And we talked a little bit about the game tonight in Happy Valley, Penn State and Oregon.
Yep.
But what are some of the other big games today?
3:30, you've got Ole Miss and LSU, 2 top-ranked teams in the SEC, and another big SEC battle later on. Georgia and Alabama are the big ones.
So there's plenty to look forward to today as the college football season is in full swing now. USF, as we mentioned, has the weekend off. I believe the Gators are off this weekend,
I think
too.
So.
Yeah. They've been off every weekend, but
I think it's only a matter of time before their coach Billy Napier gets fired. It's not going well for them, and this is his 4th season too.
Well, we'll see what happens as far as that goes.
And just to confirm, Florida is off this week. Their next game is next Saturday, the 4th, against Texas.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yep.
It doesn't get any easier.
No, it could be 1-4, and of course the big one, Florida State and Miami next week too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The Rays are winding down their season. They'll wrap things up tomorrow against the Toronto Blue Jays, but they actually have a say in who wins the American League East, because the Blue Jays are in a dead heat with the Yankees.
That's right.
The Blue Jays do have the tiebreaker, so if the Blue Jays win today and tomorrow, they win the American League East. But all the Yankee fans are pulling hard for the Rays to knock off Toronto in at least one of the 2 remaining games.
Yeah, it's an exciting down the stretch, series in baseball. I mean, you've got the AL East up for grabs, the AL Central with the Guardians and Tigers are up for grabs. Some of the wild card spots are up for grabs. The Mets and the Reds in the National League, and of course the final wild card in the American League. This is exciting. I mean, it's great for baseball to have these races. And then, of course, start of the playoffs next week with the wild card round.
And we'll look forward to that because you've got a number of different teams that could be there.
Yeah.
But, boy, talk about a couple of collapses that have happened.
Detroit's the biggest one.
Yeah.
They had a huge lead in the AL Central. And the fact that they've gone, I believe, 1-9 in their last 10 games, just a terrible way to end the season. And that's allowed Cleveland to get back into it and to possibly overtake them in that division. And then, Detroit, there's no guarantee that the Tigers would have the wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're battling, I believe, Houston. for potentially that.
Yeah, they could fall out of the playoffs altogether.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, as dominant as they were for a period of the season, and surely even then looked like there was no way they could lose that division. But how things change.
Absolutely. And the other big collapse is the METS Mets.
Yeah.
They have taken a turn for the worst. And the Cincinnati Reds, who I wouldn't be disappointed if the Reds were to get into the playoffs. It's been a long time since the Reds have been in the playoffs.
I don't remember the last time they were in the postseason. But yeah, it has been a while.
Right now, they hold the tiebreaker over the Mets, even though they have identical records. So much happening these last 2 days of the regular baseball season. And then, of course, the playoffs begin on Tuesday.
And, of course, what's interesting is in the first round, it's best 2 out of 3. So that's risky for all involved. That's the advantage for the teams that get the first round bye. You avoid a best of 3 series when there's really no margin for error. And of course, all 3 games, if they go the full 3, would be played in the home stadium of the higher seeded team. So that's that. We did see, remember, 2 seasons ago, 2 wild card teams, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, went all the way and met in the World Series. They knocked off the teams that have the better record. So a lot can happen, and just because you were great during the regular season doesn't mean that you still got to show up for the postseason.
Absolutely, and there's still much to be decided. Want to mention, if you were at the Lightning game last night, their first preseason, which ended up being a 6-5 win, and the reason there was so many goals scored is both teams played their minor league goaltenders in the third period. And it went from 3-1 to 6-5 as the final. But it took an amazing amount of time to announce the goals. And for those of you that think that I fell asleep and just missed the goals, no, that's not the case. The NHL has instituted and you won't hear this anywhere except here on the home team. The NHL has instituted a new system where all of the goals and the assists are determined by the war room in Toronto. So what has to happen when a goal is scored, someone in Toronto has to review it and determine who officially gets the goal and who officially gets the assist, and then relay it to the crew in the home city, which last night, of course, was at Benchmark International Arena. And then that crew has to relay it to me so that I can announce it. And you are really at the risk of how quickly they can get to it in the war room and how quickly they can make a decision on who scored the goal and who made the assist.
And how did it normally go prior to there were officials there in the arena?
We actually had a video replay official that was right there at the arena, and he would make the decision on who the goal is credited to. And a lot of times he would have to review it because a puck can be deflected at the very last second, and that player ends up getting the goal, whoever deflects it. But now that video replay official, his job becomes really not needed because it's determined in Toronto and then sent to NHL.com, and which is another step, and then it goes to the arena.
Was the reason for that so they could eliminate certain personnel that they didn't
I
want people
don't
to
know.
have those jobs? Or?
That's a very good question. I just don't know why they decided to do that. The only thing I can guess is that they wanted to control it and make sure, because so many players' contracts have incentives in them. If they get so many assists or so many goals, it pays off for them. So they wanted to take it out of the hands of the local folks.
Interesting. Okay.
This is a guess on my part.
Right.
I don't know this for a fact. And put it into Toronto's hands or the NHL war room's hands. So that is why it's taken so long to announce the goals. I hope they come up with a different solution or go back to the old way. But I just want to forewarn Lightning fans that if you're at the game, you may have to wait a considerable amount of time before the goal is announced.
Well, and we talked about this before the show. If you look at a night like October 28th this year, which is one of the 2 nights on the schedule where every team is playing in the same night. Imagine what that's got to be like in Toronto, trying to get the scores out to every building.
Well, hopefully they'll have more people working if they know that there's more games being played, but you don't know that for sure either. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. Also, want to mention that, and we'll get to this more later in the show, but this is the big weekend at Alessi Bakery.
Yes,
it's your anniversary sale.
Yep.
And we'll hit it a little later on with all the details on that.
Celebrating 113 years this year.
Wow.
So.
113 years at Alessi Bakery.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that, but make plans to get there either today or tomorrow because you want to take advantage of these great ideas and great specials that they have. And you also have some other items that are discounted
That's right.
are not in the package. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. If you want to join us, phone lines open, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. More of the home team coming up here on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. Thank you to all home team listeners who have supported Reach Out, Speak Out to help victims of domestic violence. Our largest fundraiser of the year, Purple Passion Silent Auction, is coming up on Sunday, October 5th, and we want you to be a part of it. It's at the New Identities Hair Salon, 15307 Amberley Drive in Tampa Palms. It runs from 2 to 3:30 p.m. and will feature more than 100 items, including restaurant and grocery store gift cards, signed sports memorabilia, gift baskets, entertainment and sports tickets, fishing equipment, and so much more. Please mark your calendars for Sunday, October the 5th, and join us from 2 to 3:30 p.m. as we help victims of domestic violence that are in desperate need. If you can't make it but would still like to send a donation, please send it to Reach Out, Speak Out, Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677. Thank you, and I hope to see you October 5th.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Family owned and operated, T&D Golf on West Waters Avenue in Tampa is the place to find everything you need for your golfing experience at affordable prices. Club repair is available as well. As a longtime sponsor of the home team, T&D wants to make sure you get the very best quality at a price you can afford. Open at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half-mile west of Northdale Mabry, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. T&D Golf, making golf affordable.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the home team. And I want to mention, you just heard my brother Pat there talking about the Florida State Fair. This Wednesday, October the 1st, you can purchase tickets for the 2026 edition of the Florida State Fair coming up in February. You can purchase admission tickets for just $5. And this is available online only at floridastatefair.com. They're having a sale from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. this Wednesday, one day only, $5. That's about a
Very good
$10 savings per ticket. And that's available this Wednesday at floridastatefair.com. So if you're going to the fair, you want to save some bucks, that's the way to do it. Just get online, floridastatefair.com, and purchase those tickets for just $5, admission tickets. Now, these do not include the rides. These are you have to get the armband for that. This is for admission, $5 starting on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at floridastatefair.com. Let's go to the phone lines. Our friend Donald is waiting for us. Hello, Donald. You're on the home team.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Do want to mention real quick, Donald, that we have a couple of scores in for our contest. Kirk is predicting the Eagles to win it 27-17 and leading 14-10 at halftime. And John in Clearwater has the Bucks winning by his familiar score of 31-23, and the Eagles leading at halftime 17-10. And John, by the way, won the contest last week. So congratulations to him.
Awesome, John. Way to go. But yeah, because I couldn't call in. I was on the water last Saturday. I was fishing a charity tournament.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Yeah,
we missed you as always, but I understand. There are other things going on besides the home team from 9 to 11 on Saturdays.
Yeah, I was on somebody's boat. So, if it was in my kayak, I would have called in. But so I was on a private boat, but a lot of fun.
Very good. You and your friends were all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yes, we were. A lot of fun.
There you go.
Yeah, so I talked about the Purple Passion silent auction on the Real Animals this morning fishing show.
All right. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dylan Hubbard, who donated a fishing trip, I understand.
Yes, indeed.
So I told him, I said, I've got a Bass Pro Shops offshore angler and Penn Battle 6000, the offshore gear and tackle box. And so I've added more stuff to the tackle box. So probably at least $125 to $150 worth of fishing stuff is in there. Because my kayak club, my guys had put on the Facebook for our last outing, they would donate some fishing stuff. So a bunch of them did. So I've got more.
Very nice. Well, we appreciate that. It's coming up a week from Sunday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And again, that's October the 5th at the New Identities Hair Salon. We have well over 100 items available for bid. And one of the favorites that I think it's going to really be popular is that visit to the Tampa Bay Lightning radio booth, including tickets to the game. So look forward to that. And our good friend John Bychek has donated a couple of lower bowl tickets to a Lightning game. So that is something that will be popular as far as bidding goes.
That's awesome. That really is incredible.
Well, what do you think of the Bucks game tomorrow, Donald?
I put it on Facebook. My score. I've got the Bucks winning 28. I'm sorry. 28-24, I think I put in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
Somewhere.
Got it.
Yep, 28-24, and the old 10-10 halftime score.
Okay, all right. A lot of people like that 10-10 halftime score. Mm-hmm. And Don in St. Petersburg has just sent his score in. He's got the Eagles winning 23-17 and leading 9-7 at halftime. And by the way, Donald, I want to compliment you on getting it correct. You spelled it correctly, the Iggles, the Eagles.
It is the Eagles. Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, if you talk to somebody from Philadelphia, we're going to see the Eagles play.
Yeah.
Fly, birds, fly. Go Eagles. Yeah.
Now, we shoot eagles, don't we?
Yeah.
Fire the cannons. Fire the cannons.
Fire the cannons. That's right.
Yep. So I'm going to marathon, leaving Wednesday morning, like 4:30 in the morning.
You're running a marathon?
No, I don't run. I see him walk brisk.
Fish is a marathon.
Oh, you're going to marathon?
Yeah, in the Florida Keys. Yep.
Very nice.
I was going to ask you if it was in Boston or New York that you were running the marathon. But
no, not even a walk one. No.
Very good.
I'm not into that fitness stuff, except for fishing.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that ties into fitness, but I guess because you're using your arm to
to get you really have to be fit because you stand up a lot or you're kayaking, paddling.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
You get a lot of strength that way. Yeah. It's good exercise.
Especially kayaking. It's really good for your core.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls up muscles and stuff. So so that really helps, with paddling. It's like a free workout. Go out kayaking. It's like, why pay for a gym? You got all the scenery in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, very good. Well, Donald, always good to hear from you. And thanks again for all of your help with the Purple Passion silent auction.
My pleasure. And I'll try and call in on the water from Marathon next Saturday. I'll be out there in the kayak, and I will be back Saturday night, and then I'll be there. What time do you think I should get there on Sunday?
Well, it starts at 2:00. So if you can get there by 1:30 or so, that'd be fine, to drop the items off.
Yep. And then we'll be bidding on some stuff too. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate that.
All right. You guys take care. Have a great week.
Thank you, Donald. Thanks, appreciate that. Steve Carney's going to be joining us in, about 10 minutes or so. And we'll kind of put a bow on the 2025 baseball season for the Tampa Bay Rays and then look ahead to 2026 when new ownership will be in focus and in line. So we look forward to that.
Exciting.
And we also have a trivia question coming up at the top of the hour that involves the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll tell you that. So I want to say hello to David, who's tuned in on Facebook Live. And while we have a moment, Jason, give us more of the details about the sale coming up today and tomorrow at LSU Bakery.
Sure. Well, today and tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of great items on sale. The big package deal involves 4 items. Our brownies, which will be 69 cents each. Our eclairs, which will be 79 cents each. Our coconut macaroons will be 69 cents each. And our guava turnovers will be 79 cents each. And basically, each customer can get up to 4 of each of those items. There's a limit of 4, but each person can get up to 4 of each. It's a total would come to $11.84 in total. So basically, you're getting 16 items, some of our best-selling items, for just $11.84. So that's a big deal there. And in addition to that, we're also doing our 9-inch classic Cuban sandwich at just $7.99. Price of those, and also the Boston cream cake. It's a 7-inch round cake, vanilla cake, custard in between the layers, and a chocolate icing on top. It's delicious. That one will be on a low price of $10.99. And then also our Scacciata snack pack pizza box. The Scacciata snack pack that has the 10 bite-sized pieces, that'll be a low price of $7.
Okay.
So for between the package deal and those other items, a lot of great
and there's no limit on those other items,
no, the
right?
Cuban sandwiches, Boston cream cake, and Scacciata snack pack. No, there's no limit on those. You get however many of those at those prices you like.
And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of it's a big deal made about the Cuban sandwiches in Miami, but I'll take a Lessie any day of the week.
Ours the real deal.
Yeah.
It's got. There's a difference. I think the one in the Tampa one, the key is the salami, which is the Italian influence. I don't think the one in Miami includes the salami, and plus we do the real deal, like a mayo mustard mix on it. I think they might do just mustard. We have the mayo mustard mix, the pickles. It's great. We can get it pressed if you like, pressed hot with butter on top. It's fabulous. So we'll have a lot of those. So I know we're open today. We're open now. We'll be open until 6 p.m. today, and then tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right. Very good. So make your plans and get in there, pick up on some of those bargains and some of the other goodies at Alessi Bakery. The address, just in case people don't know.
Yeah, we're at 2909 West Cypress Street. That's in between the cross streets MacDill and Armenia.
And you're celebrating 113 years.
Yeah, Alessi Bakery was founded in 1912. So
by your grandfather or your
great-grandfather?
Your
great-grandfather who came over from Italy. He started it, and it's come a long way. That was when he delivered breads to the different customers by a horse-drawn carriage, a horse and buggy there.
So you're actually the 4th generation.
I'm part of the 4th generation. Yes, me, my brother, and my sister, we're part of the 4th generation. And this anniversary, this is something that we started for our 90th anniversary, which was back in 2002. And I think at that time we're considering just doing something like this for like the milestone years. The 90th, 100 and all, but it was such a big event, a big hit that year. We decided, we're going to do it every year. The last weekend in September. It's kind of a way of giving back to our customers, and the people love it, and so we've kept it going.
And let me just say, I urge you to bring your patients with you, because it's going to be crowded. There's going to be a lot of people there. Parking is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but just be patient.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of people working. We're a lot of people on staff today, so I'll actually be in later today and work till close. So we got a lot of people for these events. We know it gets busy, so we usually get people in and out in a reasonable amount of time.
All right, very good. So take advantage of that. That's today and tomorrow.
That's right.
Want to mention that a couple of things that we'll talk with Steve Carney about as well. But starting next year, the ABS system is coming into play.
Yes.
So batters and catchers and pitchers will be able to challenge a call made by an umpire, a ball or strike call, by tapping his head. And if they do that, they are allowed, each team gets 2 challenges. If you are correct, you keep your challenge. But if you are wrong twice, then you're finished with your challenge.
I think I'm of the opinion that they need to implement that, not just for challenges. I'm of the opinion that they need to have the computer call the balls and strikes.
Mm-hmm. It may get to that. That may be down the road.
I know it's very controversial. And the way I look at it is very simple. Would that make the calls more accurate and more consistent? And if the answer is yes, is that not better for the game?
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the story, in my opinion.
The one thing I heard that the players are already trying to figure out a way around this, and what they're going to do is every major league player and potential minor league players, there will be a video shot of them. And that goes into the computer. So they'll actually be able to say, take a picture of Junior Caminero, and then that picture will determine his strike zone. Mm-hmm. And so the players are already talking about when they go in slouching over, so they're a little shorter than they really are. And they're going to have to monitor how the guy poses for the picture. So to make sure that it's accurate.
Because it's based on different players are different heights.
Sure.
And that's going to be, you've got an Aaron Judge who's very tall, and you've got a Jose Altuve who's almost a midget. So
it's not just a set box, but what they'll actually do is when a batter comes, they'll put in Aaron Judge, they'll type that in.
Right.
Picture of him pops up on the computer, and then the balls and strikes are determined by that.
But here's the thing. As fans, when we watch a baseball game on TV, we're already seeing this. Mm-hmm. We're already seeing that zone, that box. And the ball, when it crosses the plate, it shows if it caught a portion of that box.
Now, here's the question I have, though. Is that box, does it change based on a shorter or taller player?
Yes.
Does it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Because I couldn't notice it. Do you actually notice it, Matt?
Yes, I notice it when I watch games on TV. It varies between Aaron Judge and Jose Altuve.
So it actually moves up, or it gets bigger?
It gets bigger for Judge, and it shrinks a little for Altuve.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I'll have to look more carefully.
But see, again, this is the thing, and we've seen it. We've seen where some of the calls have been way off on the umpires when they're calling. And you've also heard this before. Well, this umpire has this strike zone. That umpire has that strike zone. Well, to me, look, a ball is supposed to be a ball. A strike is supposed to be a strike, regardless of who's calling it. You're not supposed to have different strike zones, but that's the human element, the human error involved, which to me, if you've got an automated system, it's going to be more consistent. It's going to be more accurate. And to me, overall, that makes the game better. Does it not?
Well, we'll chat about that with Steve Carney. He's coming up next. Mike has on Facebook Live has his score in 31-20 favor of the Eagles, and the Eagles leading at halftime 17-10. That's how he sees it. More of the home team coming up right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and the Father and Son Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying there's no place like this place anyplace else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks in one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. If you suffer damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. I have great news. Vienna all-beef hot dogs and delicious Hershey's ice cream are once again back in Pinellas County. What once was Daddy Dogs is now Joe's Hot Dogs under new ownership, right at the corner of 580 and McMullen Booth Road in Safety Harbor. The best hot dog in the world, Vienna all-beef, with any toppings you like, is back in Pinellas County. Joe's Hot Dogs is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 to 7. Mention the home team and get 20% off your bill. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the home team. Glad to have you with us here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team. And we want to get one of the things out of the way before we get to Steve Carney, who's coming up in just a moment. And that is that we are looking forward to our Christmas party coming up in December. We're working out the final details, but there's a very good chance it will be at Alessi Bakery again.
Yes, we're looking. I talked to my brother. We're going to get the details, the specific date and everything situated. Mm-hmm. And that's like a real possibility.
Absolutely.
Which is great. We've had it there for years, so it's a lot of fun.
We're looking forward to that. Well, without any further ado, let's get to Steve Carney, our Rays insider. Steve, welcome back to the home team.
Yeah, Paul, hearing you and Jason talk about Alessi Bakery has made me hungry for breakfast.
Oh, good. Well, if you get a chance, come on down there. We got a lot of good specials today and tomorrow of our anniversary sales, Steve.
Stop on your way into the Lightning game tonight, Steve. You can do that. But wanted to get your thoughts before we get to the Rays in particular. Next year, the ABS system will be in effect with challenges by the batter and catcher and pitcher. First of all, your thoughts on that?
Well, it's worked out well in the minors. They've had it in the minor leagues for, now this, I believe, is the 5th or 6th season that they've had it now in the minors. And if you've gone to any of the Florida State League games over the last 4 or 5 years, you certainly have seen it in effect. They've changed it up a little bit. They've put the results on the scoreboards now. When they can, they haven't been able to do that at Tarpon's games this year, but, and you've seen it in the preseason. You saw it in the Grapefruit League last year. And so I think it's been a really good success for Major League Baseball, and they feel like this is the time.
Do you think we'll one day get to the point where there is no ball and strike call made by the home plate umpire?
I don't think so. I think that that's part of the brilliance of this game is that you do have a human aspect in it, and then it becomes the human aspect of when do you challenge.
Well, Steve, let me to go to counter on that. Don't you think though, if there you have the human element, the error, one umpire has this strike zone, the other umpire has that strike zone. Don't you think that that's a bit frustrating to the players? I would think that they would want these balls and strikes to be, number one, more accurate, but also more consistent. And if a computer system would do that, don't you? I mean, wouldn't that be better for the game?
Or would this make the human umpires become more consistent?
I don't know. I think the umpiring has gotten worse in recent years. I think there's been a lot of frustration with just flat out missed balls and strikes calls.
Well, I mean, you look at where the strike zone was, say, 25 or 30 years ago. I remember going back and looking at old World Series games with Eric Gregg behind the plate, and you would see how wide his strike zone was. And, there were a lot of times where pitchers were getting definitely the benefit of the strike zone, and there were times that hitters would get the benefit of the strike zone. And it's been like that since the beginning of time.
Yeah. I guess, as a fan watching the game, you see that little box that's generated through through
television. And you got to remember that box is not the same box that they use for ABS.
Okay.
All right. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Steve, the Rays season coming to a close, a disappointing season record-wise, but when you look at all the injuries they had, that's certainly partially understandable. But there's got to be just bright horizons looking for the Rays with new ownership coming in.
Well, you certainly would think so. I look at what we've seen so far this year, and there's definitely been some positives. I think the fact that you saw Shane Baz make 31 starts, you saw Drew Rasmussen make basically every start this year. I think that those are big pluses, and obviously Junior Caminero is a huge plus offensively. With the new ownership group coming in, I think that there's a lot of positive thinking that is coming from the fan base. I think that's definitely something that we'll wait and see what their plans are. We have not seen Mr. Zalewski and the rest of the group that's going to be buying this team. We're expecting them to be introduced at some point here in the near future, but I would love to be able to hear what their plans are and what they're looking forward to doing as owners of this team.
You think the stadium issue will get on the fast track once the ownership changes?
Well, I think that's up to both the new ownership and the politicians, both in Tampa and in St. Petersburg, because obviously the plan is to go back to Tropicana Field for 2026. But even if you were to start building a new stadium, say in sometime in 2026, it's not going to be ready for when the use agreement comes up at the end of the 2027 season. So I really do think that it's going to be a very big question of how much longer they're going to have to stay at the Trop beyond the end of this use agreement to make sure that everything is copacetic. And, how much is this going to cost the ownership group?
And when you look at how long they're going to be at the Trop, according to my calculations, since they haven't even broken ground yet as far as the new stadium, it's going to be probably through the 2029 season.
Well, they don't even have a spot where they're going to build a stadium. They got to decide on that first and make sure that everything's in place.
So I can see it, Steve, a minimum 4 years.
There's still plenty of decisions that need to be made by the ownership group and by the politicians, because you think about it, if that Ybor Harbor idea is the plan, I don't know if Darryl Shaw is part of this group, which means you would have to buy the land from him. The same thing if they want to go to Hillsborough Community College, just south of John Steinbrenner Field. They're going to probably have to buy that land. So, and that's an additional cost that's going to come down. And I'm sure that's something that they're going to have to take into consideration.
On the season this year, Steve, what your thoughts on how it played out? And they're not going to be in the playoffs for the second straight year. But I think with all of the players that they have, if they can keep them, they have a bright future. They've got a lot of good young players there.
Yeah, it's definitely a very young group, and a lot of the guys that are that were planning on leaving, they're not here now. You know, you think about it, Danny Jansen only signed a 1-year deal. He got traded in the middle of the season. Zach Littell was going to be a free agent at the end of the season, and he got dealt at the deadline. You know, it's very, very young group. Really, I think there's only one person that could be a free agent at the end of this year, and it's Pete Fairbanks. That is of real note. But you look at it, the young core that's in starting with Caminero is really, really good. Though I think the thing that really sunk this group this year is that they had to move into a new catching group that did not have any experience with this pitching staff. So when you have young catchers having to learn their way on the fly, I think that's a very difficult ask.
It's very rare to actually replace two catchers, both of your catchers, to change them both out. That's
it's not just one. It's not just both catchers. This is catchers number 4 and 5 this year. Because you remember we started with Jansen and Rortvedt, then they brought in Matt Tice, and so now they've gone to Fortes and Fiducia, catchers number 4 and 5.
Unbelievable. As far as your thoughts on the stadium, Tropicana Field, do you think that's going to be ready come April of next year?
Well, I certainly hope so, because I'm looking forward to going back there and watching baseball and air conditioning. Yes. Absolutely. And the fact that I don't have to cross the bridge.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Steve, before we let you go, we want to get your thoughts on the Bucks and the Eagles tomorrow. What do you have for a final score? Not knowing whether how healthy Baker Mayfield is going to be, I think is going to be a very big aspect of this game. But he's a tough guy. I think he's going to grit through it. I think this game is going to be decided by a field goal. Okay, and what's the final score? Now you're going to. I think it's 27-24 Bucks. All right, and halftime score. That's a tiebreaker. I'm going to say it's going to be tied 14-14. All right. Got you down. Thank you, Steve. Always great to have you on the air with us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Well, we have our top of the hour trivia question we want to get to, and that is Junior Caminero, who I think is probably the best player on the Tampa Bay Rays right now, came to the Rays from a particular trade, and we want to know, what organization did the Rays get Junior Caminero from? What major league organization did the Rays acquire Junior Caminero in a trade? That's the trivia question for the top of the hour. More of the home team, hour number 2, coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Michael Wallace, the Atlantic hurricane season is heating up. Umberto has strengthened to a Category 4 storm with sustained winds of 145 miles per hour. It could impact the southeastern U.S. So could another tropical system that's currently in the Caribbean. Here's CBS New York weatherman Lonnie Quinn.
This storm that could potentially become Imelda moves over the Bahamas as a tropical storm, moving right in the direction of the South Carolina coastline somewhere around Charleston.
South Carolina's governor has declared a state of emergency. Parts of North Carolina still haven't recovered from Hurricane Helene a year ago this weekend. CBS's Janet Shamlian is there.
10 miles from Asheville, here in Swannanoa, the post office and the grocery store are still closed.
We need our grocery store for access to food. We need the post office. We've lost our hardware store. Our business corridor was completely devastated.
Tanya Allen created the Swannanoa Resilience Hub, a community group to help with long-term disaster relief. With gloves and determination, volunteers are turning debris piles into stepping stones for Swannanoa's comeback.
President Trump says more of his political opponents may face charges after a grand jury indicted former FBI Director James Comey for lying to Congress. CBS News Chief Washington analyst Robert Costa.
There is, in fact, a growing interest in investigating the mortgage policies of Democrats who have clashed with the president, including California Senator Adam Schiff, who led the impeachment inquiry into Trump in his first term, and also New York's Attorney General Letitia James, who sued Trump for allegedly inflating his real estate companies and their assets. There's also interest in scrutinizing the conduct of some military figures, such as retired Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley.
President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to review the constitutionality of his executive order that would end birthright citizenship. Lower courts have blocked the order so far. Opponents say the 14th Amendment protects birthright citizenship. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper reports the feds are beefing up security at ICE facilities after this week's deadly shooting in Dallas.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, in a post on social media, says she is sending DOJ agents to ICE facilities to safeguard federal agents, protect federal property, and immediately arrest all individuals engaged in any federal crime.
Up to 500,000 Palestinians remain in Gaza City, and what this spokesman for Doctors Without Borders calls desperate conditions.
People cannot move. They are under the bombs, and they are terrified.
Israeli newspapers report Hamas has accepted in principle President Trump's 21-point peace plan for Gaza. The plan encourages Palestinians to stay in the Gaza Strip and could create a pathway to a future Palestinian state. Trump's plan also calls for Hamas's removal from power in Gaza and calls for the return of all the remaining hostages. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Peronick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman.
Hi there, I'm Robin Savage, stand-up comic. Are you sick of the news getting pushed around by two sides, always saying the other side is wrong? You deserve to enjoy the news.
That's what's up, Robin. I'm your host, Mac James, from Stand Up for News. We're stand-up comics, and we tell the news. The news doesn't have any legs and can't stand up for its own self. Join us and special guests like local hero comics like Donnie Stopa, all the way to legends like Tommy Chong, here on WTAN Radio.
Every Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m.
This is the radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks,
hosts of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the TAN Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime via webcast at Spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
Thinking about starting your own business? Then you need to listen to the Entrepreneur Opportunity Hour from 6 to 7 p.m. There's nothing more rewarding than starting your own business. Gene will bring you tips and advice from themselves and other entrepreneurs that will help you get started. Have you already started your own business? Then call in and share your story to help other entrepreneurs. That's the Entrepreneur Opportunity Hour from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
That's the Entrepreneur Opportunity Hour Wednesdays from 6 to 7 right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks,
hosts of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the Tan Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime via webcast at spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucs, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, Brother Pat Porter, and welcome back to hour number 2 of the home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, Father and Son Windows and Doors home team. We've had another score come in. David is picking the Eagles to win 24-17 and leading 10-7 at halftime. And our listeners, Jason, are pretty divided right now. We've got 4 picking the Eagles and 3 picking the Bucs to win tomorrow.
I think it's one of those coin toss games. It could go either way, literally. I mean, both teams are undefeated. Both teams are good. They were playoff teams last year. They're expected to be playoff teams last year. I know the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. But the thing about the NFL today, there are no dominant teams. None. I mean, Green Bay looked like probably the best team through the first 2 weeks, and they turn around and lose to the Cleveland Browns. Okay, so it really is week in and week out. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Well, that's what the league likes.
The loser of tomorrow's game between the Chiefs and the Ravens is going to be 1-3.
Yeah.
I mean, 1-3 for teams that have Super Bowl aspirations.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the phone lines. Don is with us next. Hello, Don. You're on the home team.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
2 things. Number one, the ABM, the decisions are now made through the it looks like a screen, like we have it at Baycare Ballpark. People are just surprised when they see when somebody challenges it, whether or not it is really a ball or a strike. But what I read recently is that the players don't like the idea of the ABM. Managers, I know, don't like it because that takes the argument away from them. But then the players say they don't like it, but they didn't like the pitch clock either. But the pitch clock's cut maybe about 20 minutes from the game.
I wonder, did the players give a reason for why they say they don't like it? Did you hear?
I think anything that the owners want, the players don't want it. Know that there's negotiating. They're going to be negotiating not this winter, but the following winter.
Yeah. I would just think that the players, one thing you asked about a player in terms of the strike zone, they want it to be consistent. And when you have different umpires having different strike zones, and even and we've seen through the course of one game, the strike zone changes. Some calls will be made in like the first inning, and then later on in the 5th inning, the same pitch is something different. And that's the human element. But again, I think that really drives players crazy. And I think if you had a system that would be more accurate, would be more consistent, I think the players would probably like that.
You'd think that way, but like a lot of smart catchers know how to snatch a ball that is out of the strike zone and bring it up a little bit so the umpire thinks it's in the strike zone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They couldn't get away with that with the computer system. So I mean, I think that, if anything, and sometimes when the catcher gets up really fast to throw the ball to second to try to get a guy out who's stealing, it might have been a strike, but because he was moving, the umpire misses it. And he calls it a ball because
happens.
he was in where the computer would catch that and say, no, that was in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall it would help the game.
The one thing though that comes into play, using your example of a guy trying to steal second, and the catcher, let's say you have a 3-2 count, and the catcher cannot afford to wait until the computer says that the taken pitch is a ball or a strike. He has to throw to second to try and get that runner that's trying to steal. How quickly will that be able to be determined where an umpire could right away say ball or strike?
Well, I mean, even if he throws it, if it's a ball, it's a moot point. If he throws
unless he throws it into center field, then the guy takes third on a throw that he didn't have to make.
But that happens all the time anyway. I mean, we've seen the catcher throw it, and if it's a ball, the guy's going to be going to second place anyway.
Right, but then that runner that's going to second can keep going to third.
Sure, he could. Well, listen. You don't have time to slow down there.
Didn't need to be made.
If you're a catcher trying to make a play at the play, you're not going to have time to think. You got to throw no matter what, and just trust whatever happens.
Yeah,
you need to throw. You need to throw the ball accurately. Don't throw it away.
But that'll happen at some point where the computer doesn't call it a ball quick enough, and the throw goes into center field, and the runner ends up on third.
Well, the catcher in that situation, he's not thinking about what the pitch is going to be called. He's thinking about getting the guy out. He's just going to assume that, hey, this guy it's going to be going. I need to get him out one way or another.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but Don, I don't know if you're following what I'm saying on this, but an unnecessary throw to second base could go into center field and give the base runner an extra base when the throw didn't need to be made to second because it was ball 4.
Right.
That happens anyway, though. The catcher throws the ball prior to the umpire making the call.
Not always. I mean, if the umpire is quick enough and he goes ball, before the catcher winds up.
Yeah, and the catcher is already wind up and has to slow down. He might throw his arm out of socket. He could injure himself that way too. So I don't think that's as big a deal.
Well,
I think getting the thing with the technology, and it's the same thing with instant replay. And I know we go back and forth about replay, and some instant replay is too much. But here's the bottom line: you want to try to get the call right. That's the key. If you have the technology now to get it right, and this to me I think pertains to the balls and strikes. You want them to be accurate. You want them to be, it shouldn't be, well, this umpire's strike zone is this,
point.
And that umpire. A ball is a ball and a strike is a strike, regardless of who's umpiring.
I totally concur with that. I just hope that if they ever get to the point, and maybe as Steve Carney mentioned earlier, Don, that he doesn't think it'll ever get to the point where the home plate umpire doesn't call balls and strikes. He thinks this is as far as the computer is going to go, just on the challenge calls. But if they ever do go to this totally computer, I hope they can make it so it's quick enough so you don't have a throw that didn't need to be made, costing a team that is on the defense. So that's
the only other can't tell is when a guy swings and the ball is like on that line, whether he actually tipped it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a foul tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's a foul tip. You know how some catchers say he didn't tip it, but batters stand there and they wait to see if the umpire.
That's why you still have the umpire behind the plate. The umpire's looking for that. The umpire can make the call then. If he sees that that hit the hit part of the bat.
And you would still need the appeal for the first base and third base umpires,
right?
On a check
all
swing.
All of that can be remain, and you have the umpire there if there's a play at the plate. The guy's going home, and you got to have the umpire is still going to be there for all the regular purposes that you have them there in the game. But it's just that the balls and strikes would be called by the automated system.
Well, Don, let's get your score on the Bucks and the Eagles tomorrow.
Yeah, I put it in, but there's this point I wanted to ask you about. Connor McDavid, is he going to be playing for Edmonton, or is he going to be playing somewhere else this season?
My guess would be Edmonton.
The season's about to start.
Yeah.
Did you read the story in The Athletic about him?
What is that?
That Connor McDavid really wants to play on a contender, and he wants to. I think he might start the season with Edmonton, or they might trade him.
I mean, Edmonton has been to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years. If he wants to play a contender, that's a pretty good place. If he decides to go elsewhere, there's a good chance the team won't make it even to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Good point.
Well, I'm just saying that if he decides that he wants out, what do you think about the Lightning?
We discussed that some of the offseason. What do they have to give up?
It would probably be a Kucherov for a point and more to get him, I think.
You think it'd be too much?
Yeah, I think it would, as far as the Lightning are concerned. I don't know if they'd want to. It'd probably be like a point in a Cirelli or something like that, or a point in a first-round draft pick. It's going to be a pretty high price tag. So, Don, I got to move along, but we got your score down as 23-17 Eagles and 9-7 at halftime.
Absolutely. And thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Let's squeeze Kirk in here real quick before we hit a break. Hello, Kirk. You're on the home team.
Good morning. I just two things today. I'm really excited about what Terry Francona has done with the Reds. This is a team that has been in the bottom cellar. He looked at the young talent he had and took that job and expected next year to be making a run for the playoffs, not this year.
There's a case of the manager really making a difference.
Sure.
We talked about Bill Belichick as a coach and what he was without Tom Brady. But the Reds, as you mentioned, Kirk, were just a mediocre 500 team, and he has got them on the brink of the playoffs.
Well, Terry Francona, he's won everywhere he's been at. Yeah. Everywhere.
Boston, Cleveland, everywhere he's been.
Yep. He was always a winner, so very interesting on that. The other comment I had is Florida State last night. They were up to number 7 in the polls. They go into Virginia, which has been a team that they haven't beat Florida State when it's been ranked since 2005, and they get beat up there. I think they were totally overranked. They had 2 wins against Sisters of Mercy and the Brothers of the Blind, and then they beat Alabama, which I think really bottom line is Alabama's not that good this year. So now I wonder how far they'll drop.
Well,
and then that game next week, I don't think it's significant.
Well, here's the thing, Kirk. I think that Florida State, having back-to-back weak opponents certainly did not help. They were not challenged at all in any way, shape, or form. And that combined with the fact that they have the big game next week against Miami, this was a perfect trap game. Mm-hmm. It was a perfect trap game where they, I think they came out, and even if they didn't admit it, there's always going to be a sense that they're overlooking Virginia a little bit, or they think they're going to win that game, and it just didn't happen. And Virginia's a pretty good team, but I think this was a game that Florida State overlooked. Now, Florida State is not out of it. They're going to drop some of the rankings, but with the 12-team playoff, they still, they have just 1 loss. Some teams could even make it in with 2 losses, but their margin for error is basically not there. I think they have to beat Miami and try to win just about all the remaining games to get into the playoffs.
And they still got Florida the last game of the season.
Florida is not very good this year. But Florida State, though, I just think it was a situation. Back-to-back weak opponents and preparing for Miami, and you lose a little focus there.
Very
One
good.
other quick question is, there's the Notre Dame game in Arkansas today. I looked at the point spread, it dropped to 3.5. What? I mean, Arkansas does not look that good. How is Notre Dame that bad, or are they not getting any respect in this game?
I don't think they're getting a lot of respect ever since that loss to Miami.
Well, Miami is a very good team, and they also lost by just 1 point to 10. Notre Dame had a misfortune of playing two really good teams to begin the season. I think Notre Dame is still good, but they, those losses kind of hurt them there. But I think they're going to beat Arkansas. I don't see much of a contest there, but you never know. Arkansas is an SEC team. They play a lot of good teams week in and week out. So we'll see what happens there. But I would expect Notre Dame to win that game.
And Kirk, I've got you. The Eagles beating the Buccaneers 27-17 and leading 14-10 at halftime.
That sounds good. Unfortunately,
all right.
Too many injuries for the Bucs.
Well, I hope you're wrong. Thank you, Kirk. Appreciate it. All right, we need to hit a break, and then when we come back, we'll be talking with our friend Jesse Wright over at Betts Fishing Center, and the Rubber Cement Man is going to make another appearance. He is holding online, so we'll get to him as well. Stay with us. Much more of the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team coming up here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
For the first time ever, the Home Team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's B-E-T-T-S, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, from clothing by AFCO and Skinny Water Culture to Shimano and Daiwa Reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo. Online at customfishing.com.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Now more of the Home Team with Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Home Team. Want to say hello to Mario, who's tuned in on Facebook Live. Appreciate his comments. He says the Yankee fans are rooting for the Rays this weekend, and he'd almost, at the expense of the Rays losing, wants to see the Rays lose so that the Blue Jays get the division and not the Yankees.
Well, I'll be honest. Toronto's one of the teams that I wouldn't mind seeing win it all. There's a handful of teams. Seattle's one of those teams. San Diego. Okay, the Padres. I would like to see different teams in the mix. It's been a while. The Blue Jays, the last one of you figure those 92 and 93, the back-to-back World Series they had. But, see some different teams in the mix.
Mario also has the Bucks winning tomorrow, 24-23.
Oh, good.
And the Eagles leading 20-7 at the half. So a big comeback.
Yeah.
Big comeback for the Bucks tomorrow. According to Mario's prediction. Well, let's head out to Betts Fishing Center and talk to our good friend Jesse Wright, who's working on this rainy Saturday morning. Jesse, welcome back to the Home Team.
Good morning, everybody.
Good to have you with us. And this weather's kind of put a little damper on fishing today.
Yeah, I noticed it was looking pretty gloomy this morning. We've had a couple downpours here at the shop, and believe it or not, we've actually had a decent amount of people come in this morning. So seems like everybody's shopping and not fishing right now.
Well, when you're not out on the water, you can add to your tackle box.
That's right.
All the things that you need there at Betts Fishing Center. I know you were unable to make it to the Lightning game last night, Jesse, but they did come up with a win. And I know we don't put a whole lot of faith in preseason, but the Bolts are 3-0 in the preseason right now, having won last night.
Might as well give them the Stanley Cup.
We're back, be nice if it worked that way.
Well, we hope so. And we'll see how that goes. They're hosting Nashville tonight at the Benchmark International Arena. And then they'll have another game Tuesday in Orlando against the Florida Panthers. And then their final home preseason game will be next Thursday against the Florida Panthers, October the 2nd. So lots coming up there. What is going on in the world of fishing right now? I know there's a lot of tournaments. I follow you on Facebook, Jesse, and you're always reeling in the big ones, or if not, you're catching something that is kind of interesting to look at.
Well, we did just have the season open up a couple weeks ago. It was only for 2 weeks, and we also had snook season open as well. Grouper season finally ended. It was only like a 2-week period, and then snook season is still going on until I think the second week of December. So we got guys that are going out there still trying to catch their slot snook, and it seems like we kind of are getting into our fall pattern right now. It's, you can kind of feel it in the morning. You can kind of feel it in the water. Water temps are going down a little bit, so everybody's hoping that we start getting some cooler weather, and then we get into our fall pattern, and fishing really starts picking up when we start to cool off a little bit.
How are the fishing seasons actually determined? Is that done by the Florida Fish and Wildlife, or is it determined certain weeks for fishing?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not too too familiar with how they usually go on with, picking the seasons for fish. I mean, obviously it's like a lot of scientific research and stuff, which you'll have people agree with and disagree with. I'm not too keen on that part of it. So I think it just depends on who you talk to on that. But yeah, the FWC and like Noah and all of them, they kind of put all their information into it, and that's how they kind of come up with the season.
We're talking with Jesse Wright from Betts Fishing Center. And what are some of the popular items that are coming off the shelves over there at Betts?
Let's see. Right now, we've been doing a lot of the Rapala topwaters have been really popular. We did get some new products in from this company called Thumper Shrimp. They've been really popular. We've had a lot of people ask for those. So everything in the bay eats the shrimp. So those have been moving pretty well. MirrOlure came out with some new products, the MirrOlure Mirrodine, the Chameleon series. Those have been moving pretty well. We got a couple of colors of those. And of course, Z-Man came out with a lot of new products from this past iCast. And a couple of those are the diesel kickers, the thick trick trout tricks, and some of their larger center jerk sheds and the 6-inch. So seems like a lot of those products have been moving pretty well the last month.
Donald on Facebook Live says, Jesse, we're praying for no freeze this winter. So that has a big impact as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had a freeze. Like when I think of a hard freeze, I'm thinking back to 2010 when we really did get down into the mid 30s, low 40s, and that really did wipe out a good amount of fish in the area. So, I mean, I feel like I'd rather have a freeze than a red tide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Personally, because I do think it kind of clears out some of the fish that are, either ill or just old, and it brings up a stronger group of fish. So, but yeah, I mean, I would rather not have either or.
All right. And Donald also mentions about the Z-Man Prawn Star shrimp.
Yes, the Prawn Stars. We have those right now in 2 sizes, and they've been pretty popular. But hopefully the next month or two, we'll have 2 new sizes of the Prawn Star, and a 2.5-inch and a 3-inch. So those are going to be really good when we start really getting cool and those fish start targeting smaller size bait.
Well, tell us about Betts Fishing Center as far as the hours, location, and everything we need to know.
So we are open 7 days a week, and Monday through Saturday we're open 9 to 6, and then Sunday we're 9 to 4, and we're located on Starkey Road, just about a half mile south of Ulmerton Road, and we pretty much do a little bit of everything: rod repair, reel repair, Minn Kota repair, and then of course we sell frozen bait and tackle as well.
All right. Well, last but not least, we have our NFL contest today, Jesse, that we want to get you in. And we ask you what the final score of the Bucs-Eagles game will be tomorrow.
Oh, man. Shoot, I haven't really thought about it as far as the final score on that. I do think the Bucs pull it off as long as our O-line stays strong. I know we're kind of hurt on that end, but I'm probably going to go with say 31-27 Bucs, maybe something like that.
I like the sound of that. And we just need a halftime score as a tiebreaker.
Halftime, I'd say probably 21-13 halftime for the Bucs.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Jesse. We appreciate it so much. And thank you for Betts Fishing Center's support of the home team.
Yeah, of course, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Thank you.
Very
Go
good.
Gators.
All right, go Gators. Yeah, he's still a Gator fan.
Gator fan.
You gotta give credit.
Good luck there.
All right. We are overdue for a break. So RCM, you're going to lead things off when we get back from the break. Don't go anywhere. Want to hear what you have for us this weekend. And your phone calls welcome as well at 727-441-3000. 727-441-3000. More of the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
I have great news. Vienna all-beef hot dogs and delicious Hershey's ice cream are once again back in Pinellas County. What once was Daddy Dogs is now Joe's Hot Dogs under new ownership, right at the corner of 580 and McMullen Booth Road in Safety Harbor. The best hot dog in the world, Vienna all beef, with any toppings you like, is back in Pinellas County. Joe's Hot Dogs is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 to 7. Mention the home team and get 20% off your bill. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary. Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. If you fishermen need anything for your fishing enjoyment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Almerton in Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano in Daiwa. Frozen bait for saltwater fishing, clothing from AFCO and Skinny Water Culture, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center, Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Almerton in Largo. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the home team. And I want to mention some items that have come in for our Reach Out, Speak Out auction that's coming up a week from tomorrow from 2 until 3:30 at the New Identities Hair Salon on Amberley Road in the New Tampa area of Tampa Palms. We've got a signed Andre Vasilevsky picture and frame, signed and framed from Andre Vasilevsky. That is very rare. We also have a couple of lower bowl tickets to the Lightning game from our good friend John Bychek, who has helped us out with that. And just a whole bunch of baskets from Bath and Body Works from that you can start your holiday shopping. Some seasonal items for Thanksgiving and for Halloween are there as well. And just some great items to choose from. And of course, our good friend Donald has donated a tackle box and a couple of saltwater fishing rods and reels. So there's something there for everybody. And there are a number of items, including some Lightning practice pucks that are going to be for sale there as well. So check it out a week from tomorrow at the New Identities Hair Salon on Amberley Boulevard, Amberley Road in New Tampa. Speaking of John Bychek, he joins us right now. Hello, John.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
I had to get you on next because the Rubber Cement Man is on hold, and he just has a big fan of John Bychek, so we had to get him on.
Well, I appreciate you bouncing me up. I appreciate it. I just turned you guys on. I'm assuming you're all talking about Bucks, Lightning, and not much about the Rays.
Oh, we've been talking a lot of Rays. In fact, Steve Carney joined us earlier, and we've been talking about the ABS system, automatic balls.
Yeah,
and strikes.
John, I would like to get your thoughts on that. The automated balls. Well, basically the computer calling balls and strikes. They're going to implement that for players to challenge him. I was making the argument that I think they should consider doing that full time. What's your take on that?
I like the fact that they're going to give it a one-time challenge or two-time challenge, whatever that works. It takes the human element out of the game. Baseball is the one game that the human element, I think, makes the most difference in the referees and the officials. You know, football now, we watched the game last night, that FSU game, that one touchdown. That took 5 minutes to confirm that was not a touchdown. It's getting ridiculous nowadays. Mm-hmm. They either go all the way.
Well, but if they get the call right, if they get the ball to the strike right, I mean, isn't that a good thing?
Well, I guess, but I think for the most part, I think they do get them right. There's some egregious looks, and I think those egregious looks, how many challenges are they going to give them? 2?
Yeah, 2. But if they are correct, they can make as many as they want. So as long as they're correct each time.
Got it. I think it's going to be okay. I mean, it worked out pretty well in spring training. I think what's our shortstop that's injured that got thrown out of the game because he patted his helmet?
Oh, yeah. Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. Taylor Walls.
Joe Walls, yeah.
Taylor Walls got thrown out.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me this, John, and they said, next time you have John Bychek on, ask him, because he figured that you would know the answer to this. Do bat boys and the guys and gals that are down the first and third base lines, do they get paid, or is that just a volunteer job that carries a lot of excitement and a lot of glory with it?
No, I think they get paid. And it's kind of funny because you asked that question. We were at the game, one of the last games against Toronto, and we were trying to get a ball. We had a young 9-year-old with us, and we were the front row seats right there by the on deck circle on the visiting dugout, and the usher was trying to get us a baseball, and he said, Boston brings their own ball boy down.
Really?
So, Boston, he said, and they weren't giving up any balls. It's hard to watch on TV, but every foul ball or the pitcher asks for a new ball, it'll go to one of the dugouts or the other. They were putting them in a bucket and collecting them. It was kind of awkward that they wouldn't give us a ball. He had to go to the first base side and grab a ball for it. So I would assume they do get paid. I mean, Sternberg was a pretty high-priced ball boy last week. I'm sure y'all talked about that, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't mention that, but he was down the first baseline.
I did see that, so yeah.
He did 4 innings. So, I kind of the Rays kind of gave up after the All-Star game. It looked like they were trying to get people in the All-Star game, did the best they could do, and we've had some injuries, and that helped. I would have liked to see Aranda in there the whole year.
Yeah.
But it really had these rookies kind of come in, and next year should be pretty exciting if they get the pitchers back and use some of these rookies full time instead of putting them in and out. But I'm anxious to see what the new ownership group's going to do.
For sure. Well, John, let's get you in the contest. Bucks and Eagles tomorrow. What do you think?
I think the Bucks can pull this one off. They play well against the Eagles at home. It'll probably be another Baker fantastic finish. 31-28.
All right. And halftime?
Let's just go 14-14.
All right. Got you down. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, one last thing. Lightning looked pretty good in a preseason game actually last night. So they didn't look bad. It was actually better than I thought it was going to be.
If you throw out that third period, which I did because they brought in the minor league goaltender and so did Carolina, and it went from 3-1 to 6-5. But if you just take the first two periods, a 3-1 Lightning lead, Johansson only giving up one goal in 2 periods. I thought overall it was a good showing.
Yeah, better hockey than I thought for a preseason game. It seems like they're coming together. So
yeah, they're 3-0 in the preseason.
We'll be there tonight.
All right, we'll look for you. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Let's hit the rubber cement man. He's been very patiently waiting for us. Hello, RCM.
Hello, Paul.
Thanks for holding on so long.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. You got to wait on hold for a while.
There you go.
Good things come to those who wait. Right?
No, the best things only come to those who wait.
Mm-hmm.
All those other people, they weren't the best. That's why they didn't have to wait.
I remember our good friend Brooklyn. He'd be on hold for almost an hour and a half, like the entire show. Yeah. He'd call right at the start of the show, and then we'd get to him in the last half hour.
Well, would you like the pigskin prognostication
Yes,
from
please.
the rubber cement man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, Philadelphia is going to win the game.
I hope
and
not.
It's going to be 40 to 28.
All right. 68 points. All right. How about halftime, RCM?
20 to 20.
All right. Got you down.
And when are we going to start picking WNBA? Because I think they're an important part of sports now, and I think we've been overlooking them for too long.
Well, we don't have a WNBA team in Florida, so they
don't
used
have-
to, but not. It didn't last very
Did
long.
Orlando have one?
Yeah, the Orlando Miracle,
Wow.
but it
Where are
didn't
they
last
now?
real long.
We don't
It
have.
was
We
just
don't
that they
have
were
a.
eliminated.
We don't have a horse in the Kentucky Derby from Florida. So,
Yeah,
well, that's true. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you can be our WNBA correspondent, RCM. Let us know what's going on.
well, Caitlin Clark is the best thing since sliced bread.
But she's injured.
I would
right
agree
now.
with that.
I
Yeah.
know she's out
Well,
injured.
anybody can get injured,
Yeah.
and I think they need to straighten that organization out. But I hope that next year we have the opportunity to pick who we think will win, or if you want to do it in the format of, you just get a team when you call in. But I think the WNBA is an important facet of we don't have a WNBA team here either.
Right. That's what I said. But,
I mean, we don't have an NBA team here either.
yeah, we have two of them. We have the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic.
Oh, in Florida, but not.
All right, I got to move along, Rubber Cement Man. I'm overdue for a break.
The Rubber Cement Man says bye-bye.
All right, so long. All right.
Good day. See you later next week. Okay.
We need a break.
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's take our final break. And when we come back, Matt and Jason and I will get a chance to give you our predictions for tomorrow's Bucks-Eagles game. And for those of you saying, how come you keep saying Eagles? Well, that's how they say it in Philadelphia. You got to say it properly, the Eagles. So on our final segment of the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live. This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922.
If you fishermen and ladies need anything for your fishing equipment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half-mile south of Omerton Road in Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Dewa. Frozen bait for saltwater fishing. Clothing from AFCO and Skinny Water Culture. Costa Del Mar sunglasses and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center, Starkey Road, just a half-mile south of Omerton in Largo.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to our final segment. I did want to mention we had a number of people get the top of the hour trivia question correctly. David and John and Donald all had it correct. The Cleveland Guardians is the organization that the Rays got Junior Caminero from.
Who did they trade over to get him? I don't remember.
It was... oh boy, it was a while back, but the Rays got the better of the deal.
Caminero is one of those prospects that came to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the Rays, in that case, they knew what they were doing.
I want to say it was the second baseman that ended up with Cleveland that the Rays gave up. But anyway,
the hope is with the new ownership, they're going to keep the prospects who develop. They're going to keep those.
I hope so.
And, that's over the extended period of time. That's
Tobias Myers is the name you're looking for. Tobias Myers was traded to Cleveland November 19th, 2021 for Junior Caminero.
Okay. All right. So it was back in 2021.
Correct.
So, all right. Well, let's get our predictions in. And let's start with you, Matt. Bucks and the Eagles tomorrow.
Philadelphia gets the win 30-17.
Okay.
And it's 14-7 Philly at halftime.
All right. Jason, how do you see it?
I'm going to go with the Bucks winning 20-17. And I'm going to say the Bucks will be up at halftime 13-10.
All right. And I have the Eagles winning tomorrow 31-24 and leading 17-14 at halftime. But I hope that I'm wrong. One last time, Jason, before we call it a show, tell us about what's going on at Alessi Bakery this weekend.
We've got our anniversary sale going on, celebrating 113 years in business. We're going to have a great package deal. Our brownies and coconut macaroons will be 69 cents each. Our eclairs and guava turnovers will be 79 cents each. Every customer can get up to 4 of each of those items. Great saving. The total will come to around $11.84, and you've got the 16 items there in that package. Also, Cuban sandwiches at a low price of $7.99. The Boston cream cake will be $10.99, and our Scacciata pizza snack pack box will be $7. So we're located at 2909 West Cypress Street, in between MacDill and Armenia. And we'll be open today. We'll be open till 6 p.m. And tomorrow we'll be open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So come on by.
Very good. And Lightning home tonight, taking on the Nashville Predators. I don't believe that Steven Stamkos will be there for the game tonight, but come on out and check out the Lightning, 7 o'clock puck drop at the you got to get the whole name in order to.
The Ice Palace.
No.
Yes.
Benchmark International Arena.
Yes.
Is where they'll be playing tonight. And also, again, want to mention very quickly that this coming Wednesday, the Florida State Fair will be selling tickets for $5 for admission for the 2026 Florida State Fair. All you have to do on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is go to their website, floridastatefair.com, and you can purchase tickets at a significant discount for just $5 each at floridastatefair.com, only on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I'm looking forward to Tuesday night. I'll be at the Kia Center in Orlando for the only time this year, probably, as the Lightning take on the Florida Panthers in their one preseason game in Orlando. That'll get underway at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Thanks to Steve Carney for joining us on the program today, and to Jesse Wright from Betts Fishing Center for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.